Hey guys, it's Megan. So I know this is already going to be a really hard video to upload or to edit because I'm just going to have a lot of things to find in my camera roll. So today I'm going to be doing my dance journey. My 8 or 9 year dance journey. So I don't want this intro to be too long. Just make sure. Oh, this video is inspired by my friend who I mentioned in my last video. Channel is Candy Lover. She did this on her channel, and I'm going to put her channel right here in the I box. And make sure you go subscribe to her if you haven't already. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing my dance journey. Don't want this intro to be too long. So let's get right into it. So I've always wanted to take dance class from like the moment I knew what dance class was, and my mom wouldn't let me until I was like 5 or 6. So we just signed up at this local studio that my mom had never heard of, because there's like so many studios around my around where I live, and we had never heard of the studio. We found it from they were like sponsors from like this thing that we would always go to, and I found them and they were like, hey, you should sign up for dance class. And I was like, okay, and I told my mom. So we went and we signed up for a ballet class, for 1 year recital ballet class. I was in kindergarten. So that dance was called Hummingbirds and Flowers. It was really funny to watch, but it was so cute. I had so much fun. The teacher, my studio owner, saw a lot of potential in me, so I came back for another year, and then I took ballet and jazz. Also, in kindergarten at the time, I was also still doing gymnastics, but when I did 2 years of dance, I stopped doing gymnastics. So I did that, and my teacher kept telling me that I should join this thing called ballet theater, and it was basically where you take extra ballet classes and you do productions and for local performances. And my mom never let me sign up, so I just never did that, even though my teacher kept wanting me to. So yeah, so this was in 1st grade. My jazz dance was called More. And my ballet dance was called Over the Rainbow. A few years later, after quitting gymnastics, I decided to do more dance, so I joined tap and I still did ballet. And then I continued tap, and then I joined my competition team at my studio. All I did that year for a competition was a ballet dance called Fireflies. And then we had to do recital jazz and recital tap, so I did that. The next year is when everyone at my studio left because there was a lot of drama. We went from 45 kids on our team to 12, and that was the first year I started to really get into dancing, and I knew I wanted to do it for the rest of my life, I guess. I wanted to get really serious about dance, so we were supposed to have group dances for my ballet and my tap competition, but they just both ended up being trios, so I had 2 trios with my friend Lydia and my friend Megan. We were the 3 amigos. So yeah. And then I also did hip hop, and that was my first year of hip hop because yeah. And then I did a recital jazz once again, and then I didn't do a recital ballet that year. Then the next year is when I added even more classes, and there started to be more required classes, and I started to move up. So I got into the teen senior jazz after never doing competition jazz, but my teacher thought I was good, so I got into the competition teen senior jazz, and it was a dance called Monsters. I will try to put pictures in for everything. You probably already know if I put pictures in and stuff. So yeah, and then So yeah, I was in the teen senior jazz with a new teacher that I'd never been taught by before, and I got into the highest ballet class. It was pretty great. And then once again I did just a ballet, like the ballet competition team, hip hop competition team, tap, and jazz. So I was in 4 competition dances and 2 extra recital dances, and that was also the first year I did contemporary, and I fell in love with it instantly. We weren't supposed to do a contemporary dance for the recital, but we had learned this combo in our contemporary technique class that I was required to take because I was on the teen senior jazz team. And we were like, we want to do this for recital, so our teacher let us, and it was pretty last minute dance, but it was awesome and I loved it. So then the next year, which was this past season, I started doing contemporary competition, and that was, so this past year I did jazz, tap, hip hop. Contemporary, and I did, that was my first year doing a solo. My solo was musical theater.
Should have promised him and give it here. Don't hold back now, give it here. Don't say nothing, just give it here. Give it, give it, come on.
I'll put in try to put in like little video snippets and pictures of all these dances. If I can't find them, then I'm sorry. And then I also did a recital ballet, that was required, and then instead of doing recital contemporary, in our technique class we learned a jazz dance that was called All Aboard, and it was so fun because there were like 9 of us, and it was just so much fun. I loved it. It was one of my favorite dances. And then tragedy comes, not really tragedy, but we find out that before the recital, like a few weeks before the recital, like May or something, we find out after our last competition that our studio owner is selling the studio to one of our former teachers, and we didn't know who the former teacher was. All the competition kids knew first. All the competition families knew first. So we had a meeting after all of the competition classes on like one of the nights, and our studio owner and director tells us that she is going to be selling the studio, and we're like, what? No! So before this, we had not been very happy with like the results at my studio, and we had been thinking about going to other studios and auditioning, but we hadn't like confirmed anything yet. My mom and Lydia's mom had been looking to going to my friend Megan's studio that she moved to, and we were planning on going to her studio. And then we find out that our studio is being sold to one of the best teachers ever in my studio's history, Miss Kelly, and she had moved a few years ago to teach at a different studio because she like moved after getting like remarried or something. And so that happened, and then we decided that the only person at our studio that had Miss Kelly was Lydia, but I had heard so many good things about her, that she was the director of the competition team before she left, and like that's when we were winning. And I had not been on the competition team yet, but when I started going on a competition team, that's when everything started going downhill. And this past year we'd been starting to get better, but we hadn't been where we were 6 years ago. So that's why me and all my friends decided to stay at our studio just to see how everything goes, and we decided not to audition at any other studios. And then we also find out that our favorite teacher, like the teacher I had most, teacher that did my solo, everything, and my jazz and my contemporary and my ballet, and like she taught basically everything for me except for tap and hip hop, was moving to South Carolina, and that made us really sad too. So we didn't know who was going to be teaching us. And then we found out that we were going to have new teachers at our new studio, and we love our teachers now. So this summer comes, and we have our 2-week intensive for our competition auditions, and we meet the new teachers. We learned the combos. We absolutely loved it. Like, oh my goodness, like it was awesome. And yeah, so we had all new teachers, none of the same teachers from our old studio because most of them had left. I don't know why, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of that. And then our auditions come, and I made it into all teen senior and senior jazz. All of the teen senior stuff was combined except for jazz, and I made it into senior jazz. And everything has been great. There's been no drama so far. It's been awesome. And then we had our choreography camp, and we started learning our dances, and it was like incredible. We were so excited. And then we start class this coming week. It's still Saturday. So we start classes on Thursday, and we have our competition meeting on Tuesday, where we get to try on our new jackets, and we get to find out what competitions we're going to and everything. And then we start class on Thursday. And now we're here. I'm also doing, so this year, let me just tell you, I'm doing jazz, which is required, tap, which is required, contemporary musical theater and hip hop, and then I'm doing a tap duet with Lydia and a contemporary solo. So I can't wait to, after my competitions, I can't wait to like put all of these videos onto here so you guys can see what I've been working towards. I'm just so excited to show you guys, and that it has been my dance journey over the past 9 years. I think this is my 9th year of dance. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, I was inspired by Candy Lover. I put her channel up in the eye, and I will try to remember to put it in the description box below. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I already said that. Make sure to subscribe. Like, and comment down below, and make sure that you have a nice day. So yeah, see y'all later.